Hello and welcome to Mummy Meditations. If you're new here, I want to give you a particularly great welcome. Welcome to the website and to the Facebook community, and welcome to a new way of connecting with God through the busyness and chaos of the season of motherhood. My name's Rachel Riddler and I'm the founder and facilitator here at Mummy Meditations, but this is not about me. No, I will pop up throughout this website and throughout our Facebook community, but this is about you. This is about you making sure that you can feel able to continue your relationship with God through this busy season and not feeling like you're missing out and not feeling guilty. This is about empowering you to keep studying the Bible, to keep connecting with God. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the journey as to how Mummy Meditations began, and hopefully you can see the heart as to why I started it. So it starts with me on a train down to London to a job interview at a charity that I really felt like I wanted to work for. I felt like the job description was about me. It was for a charity that promoted friendship evangelism amongst women. It was amazing and they do amazing things. But as I sat there in the interview, they'd asked me a question about how I would describe myself, and I started on this massive monologue about how amazing I was at hospitality and it was a core part of me, and how I wanted to feed 5,000 people in my house over my lifetime. As I finished talking, one of the interviewers said to me, "Wow, that would make a great blog post on our website." And at that point, God sparked something in my heart to start a blog. And as I didn't get the job, and as I rode back on the train back up to my home, I started writing this blog post in my head and thinking how it would encourage other people. And that is how my blog, Rachel Riddler Mum on a Mission, started, and I wanted to use that to encourage other people. About 2.5 years after I started my blog, it was kind of chuntering along. Some people were connecting with it, which was amazing. But I started to think, how can I take this further? What can I do with it next? At the time, I was enrolled in our church's leadership academy, and we'd gone through about a term's worth of lectures, and the first term was all about spiritual discipline. It was very serious. It was about getting up at 5 a.m. and making sure we read our Bibles for an hour a day, and dedicating hours of our lives to God in prayer and Bible study and all of those things, which are all really good. But you know what? My heart cried. It cried because at that time I had a 2-year-old and I was expecting my next child. And as I sat and listened to those lectures, I was a failure. I couldn't see any way that I could change and not be a failure. I was exhausted from motherhood, night feeds, endless errands, the weight of responsibility that just being a parent is. And I just couldn't see any way that this would work. Everywhere I looked, other mums were feeling the same. They were overwhelmed with life and the guilt that they couldn't keep up with the spiritual discipline that they had before children. In my eyes, though, they weren't failures. They desperately wanted to know God. They wanted to put him first, but it wasn't practical to do the same things as they did before. I realised that when we have kids, our whole world changes. And our relationship with our husband changes beyond recognition. And as we kind of grapple with becoming mummy and daddy as well as husband and wife, so why should our relationship with God stay the same? Surely he understands that we've changed as people when we become parents, and we shouldn't feel guilty that it's going to look different after we've had kids. But actually we should embrace it and find new ways to spend time with God. And so Mummy Meditations was born. It was an idea in my head, and to me this whole daily devotional idea, which I don't really see in the Bible, it was overwhelming, it was too much, and it was a habit that was just waiting to be broken. It was pointless. And so I chose to re-look at things. I chose to look at just one verse a week. Yep, just one little verse. But to really think about it, to dig deeper into that verse, and ever dug before, and to learn more about it than I ever done. And you know what? I was learning more about the Bible than I was every time I was reading big, huge chunks of passages every morning. And so I started sharing these thoughts on my blog, and people started to follow along. They started connecting and joining in. A few more months down the line, another amazing Christian blogger came to me and said that she loved what I was doing and could she come and join me in it.